Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm here with Karma Love, and today we are doing another episode for for our topic of history. And today is about Phoenician history and theology. You want to say hi, Karma?
Hi, everyone.
All right. So, before we get started, man, I want to hear about your interview. How did it go?
First of all, John is so cool because this is why I have to start showing up early because I come. Yeah, that's right. I come at the time that it's supposed to start just because if not, I don't want like to be like over early or rushing other people. And we had no sound. We had no sound check, and so as a result of us having no sound check, we had to. We had so many issues. I don't know what's up with my Discord. Like I've never used like voice on Discord. And
Mm-hmm.
so as a result of me never using voice on Discord, I don't know. Like I did it in my settings. I did everything I could, but I was unable to hear him. He could hear me, but it's so crazy. Because look, I could not hear him on the phone, but he was talking to me and I was answering the questions that he was asking me. Wow. Like
Yeah.
it was muted. It was so wild. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And so then we hung up. We finally got it on WhatsApp. And so that worked, and that was good. After us getting it on WhatsApp, he was able to put WhatsApp.
You got your finger over your phone.
Oh, he was able to put WhatsApp on his computer. You know how I get it. I don't even know. He was able to put WhatsApp on his computer, and he did it like that, and he was able to record it. And it was just cool because of the things that he was talking about, and just his different occurrences and stuff like that. It just made it more interesting because it was like it's just nice and refreshing to talk to someone who does not think my experiences are weird or absurd or highly unlikely. Because I'm used to people like that kind of discrediting like the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I can do. And it was wild because then I channeled or they channeled me. I don't know how it goes, but anyway, I had a message for him and he was like, "You were spot on." And I didn't even know. I just started telling him what I had to tell him. And like I'm speaking Garcia and they're telling him like they're like, "Hey, you have to do this, blah blah blah." Anyway, it was just so cool because like after he's like, "Wow, wow, you're right. I know exactly what you're talking." He's like, "I know exactly what you're talking about." And I told him, I said, "I don't know what it is, but you know what it is, and whatever it is you're supposed to do, you have to do it. You're debating whether or not you're supposed to do it." And it was so cool because he's like, "Wow." Wow, wow, like, and so I don't know, it was so neat. I really appreciate you for setting that up. And he said he'll do an interview for me as well. So
That's good.
yeah, I'm gonna put it on my channel. I'm attempting to get my YouTube channel back together. I have so much content, and I don't
Well,
post anything.
I added you on his Discord channel, and just so you know, man, you can post anything you want on there that's related to it. You know what I mean? And that goes along the lines of what he's actually looking for with his channel. I mean, everything you talk about is just it goes in perfect alignment with it.
Nice, nice, nice.
So
Yeah, yeah.
with
I
it,
appreciate you. You're like the best middleman in the world, man.
I just led you to the right place. You know, that, like I said, or like you said, you know, there's people out there that want to be mean. You know what I mean? And there's also people out there that are good people who can relate to you, and it's just a matter of leading somebody to where they need to be. People that are close to them and like-minded. You know.
Yeah, and that's just dope for you. Cause like even if like I don't know, you connect with what connects. Like you'll like force stuff on people and like I don't know, but I
I'm a
hope
I'm
whatever.
a I'm a ladies man. You ever watch
You're
that
just
movie?
the man.
You
But
ever watch
please, you're
that
the
movie?
man. No, the ladies man. Hold on. No, that's Bruce Gigolo. I feel like I've watched the ladies man before. I was thinking about Deuce Bigelow. I said Bruce, but Deuce Bigelow. That's what I was thinking about.
The
But
ladies
like
man.
you're just the man. I haven't watched it.
They
I'm gonna
call
see if I
me
can look it up.
they call me Chocolate Thunder.
I love that, yo. I'm telling you, Chocolate Thunder. Like, Chocolate Thunder. Like it's oh, what's it coming to America? And his name was like, "Give it up for Chocolate Thunder." And like for me, It's just, I don't know. You're that guy. Like you, I don't know. I hope everything good that could possibly happen in your life does. Like I don't really care about what you used to do or whatever, however it used to be, because like who you are now is like a dope person. Like you're dope, and like all those experiences made you an awesome person. Like to be around, they're always vibes. You don't never. I don't know. I'm like I'm comfortable with you. Like we'll sit here for 2-3 hours talking about history, and you couldn't pay me to sit around listening to history when I was like not a kid, but teenager. Nobody wants to hear this. What are you talking about? Now I'm like, oh wow, and the Phoenician, and then I'll hear stuff out, or I'll watch something, and it'll relate to what we're doing, and then I'll add it to my notes, and it's just cool, man. You're a dope guy.
Well, now that you're done bragging on me and making me out to be so great, let me start this reading. I want to do the Semiramis reading, and we can once we get to that serpent goddess. That's when I want to stop, because that's what really stuck out to me when we were reading that, and we never. It was towards the end of our stream, and we never really went into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have to get to elaborate. I understand. Okie dokie.
But this is Semiramis, and her name is pronounced in Greek, Arabic, and Armenian, and she was the legendary Lydian Babylonian wife of Onus and Ninus, who succeeded the latter on the throne of Assyria, according to Mopses Coronats. Legends narrated by Diodorus Siculus, who drew primarily from the works of Ctesias of Cnidus, describes her and her relationship with Onus and King Ninus. Armenians and the Assyrians of Iraq, northeast Syria, southeast Turkey, and northwest Iran still use Sumerian as a given name for girls. The real and historic Shamaramat, the original Akkadian form of the name, was the Assyrian wife of Shamshi-Adad V, who ruled between 824 BC to 811 BC. She ruled the Neo-Assyrian Empire as its regent for 5 years before her son Adad-nirari III came to age and took the reins of power. She ruled at a time of political uncertainty, which may partly explain why Assyrians may have accepted the rule of a woman when it was not allowed by their cultural tradition. She conquered much of the Middle East and the Levant and stabilized and strengthened the empire after a destructive civil war. It has been speculated that being a woman who ruled successfully may have made the Assyrians regard her with particular reverence, and that her achievements may have been retold over generations until she was gradually turned into a legendary figure. The name of Semiramis came to be applied to various monuments in Western Asia and Anatolia, whose origins have been forgotten or unknown. Even the Behistun inscription of Darius, Herodotus ascribes to her the artificial banks that confined the Euphrates. He knew her name because it was inscribed on the gate of Babylon. Various places in Mesopotamia, Media, Persia, and the Levant, Anatolia, and the Arabian Peninsula, and the Caucasus received names recalling Semiramis. Okay. So, While the achievements of Semiramis is clearly in the realm of mythical Persian, Armenian, and Greek historiography, the historic Shamurammat certainly existed. After her husband's death, she might have served as regent for her son Adad Nirari III. Thus, during the time Shamurammat could have been in control of the vast Neo-Assyrian Empire between 911 and 605 BC, which stretched from the Caucasus Mountains to the north of the Arabian Peninsula in the south, and from West Iran in the east to Cyprus in the west. In the city of Assur on the Tigris, she had an obelisk built and inscribed that read, Stele of Shemaramat, Queen of Shamshi Adad, King of the Universe, King of Assyria, Mother of Adad Nirari, King of the Universe, King of Assyria, daughter-in-law of Shalmaneser, King of the four regions of the world. So she had a lot of clout.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Her rank was heavy.
Mm-hmm. Now, according to Diodorus, a 1st century BC Greek historian, Semiramis was a noble parent, the daughter of the fish goddess Draco. Now, this is the one that I was wanting to know about, and let me remind you too, this is coming from a Greek historian, so most likely it's not true. don't ever believe the Greek.
That is just so funny.
I hate saying it. Robot even said it the other day on his history thing. He's like, freaking Diodorus didn't know what he's talking about, and that's generally the way it goes with him. He was a liar. Yeah, just plain and simple. He was just a flat out liar.
That's wild. But see, that's the thing, because Greek mythology, like, I would think that a lot of those, you know what I mean? It makes it difficult when you know that they created, I don't want to say created, but like the foundation of most of the mythology that we are aware of. It makes it kind of difficult to believe, you know what I mean? How do you sort out between the real and the not?
Now, according to him, though, Semiramis was of noble parents, the daughter of a fish goddess, Dercato of Ascalon, and of a mortal. He related that Dercato abandoned her at birth and drowned herself, and that doves fed the child until Semus, the royal shepherd, found her. Semiramis married Onus, or Menones, a general under King Ninus, and she became an advisor to King. Her advice led him to great success, and at the siege of Bactra, she personally led a party of soldiers to siege a key defensive point, leading to the capture of the city. Ninus was so struck that he fell in love with her and tried to compel Onus to give her to him as a wife, first offering his own daughter Sunani in return, and eventually threatening to put out his eyes as punishment. Out of fear of the king and out of doomed passion for his wife, Onus fell into a kind of frenzy and madness and hanged himself. Ninus then married Semiramis. That's pretty fucked up.
Right.
Like, you see what I'm saying? I mean, they were brutal back then. This is like stories, man. You know what I mean? It was like freaking children heard this stuff, man.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
that's some
And
pretty.
it's just like
That's
he's like
crazy.
offering your daughter, like, hey, I'll give you my daughter, and like it's just like, oh gosh, daddy, you're not gonna
I mean,
offer me, are you? It's
look
like,
at the end, though. I mean, he fell into a kind of frenzy and madness and hung himself. You know what I mean? So, that right there is crazy. I guess that would kind of go with Judas, too. That's probably where they got that whole idea. Because Judas did that after he betrayed Jesus.
wow. Wait, what?
Judas,
Yeah,
whenever he betrayed Jesus for the gold pieces,
yeah.
he was supposed to have gone into a frenzy and a madness and eventually hung himself. So,
That's in,
okay. So, let's figure out what Derricado is. Alright. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Okay. Now it says Atargatis, known as Derceto by the Greeks, was a chief goddess in the northern Syria in classic antiquity. Now, this is supposed to be redirected from Derceto, so I'm guessing this is the same person, but it said that it was Greek goddess of northern Syria in classic antiquity. Primarily, she was a fertility goddess, but as the Baalat, the mistress of her city and people, she
wait,
was
hold on, excuse me. Can you send a link?
yeah. Now this is what I was talking about, where I wanted to go over this. You know what I'm saying?
The serpent goddess, yeah.
And there it is in the chat.
Thank you.
And I can change my screen share to show that too. Atargatis is what the name is supposed to be on there. Here, let me go back into reading it. Primarily, she was a fertility goddess, but as the Baalat, the mistress of her city and people, she was also responsible for their protection and well-being. Her chief sanctuary was at Hierapolis, modern Manbij, north of Aleppo in Syria. Michael Rostovches calls her the greatest mystery of the North Syrian lands. Her consort is usually Hadad, as Ashtaroth, doves and fish were considered sacred to her. Doves and fish were considered sacred to her. Doves as an emblem of the love goddess, and the fish as a symbol of the fertility of life for the waters. See, there we go. So doves represents the love goddess.
And see, I never knew that. I always thought they symbolized spirituality. Symbolize spirituality. Although it does make sense, because I think they do release. See, they release doves at weddings, but they also release doves at funerals. That's interesting.
And then fish were the fertility and life of the waters. And fish as a symbolic of the fertility and life of the waters. According to a 3rd century Syriac source, in Syria and in Uhay, Edessa, the men used to castrate themselves in honor of Terrafal. Now,
And they used to do it
castration,
themselves.
you weren't cool back then if you didn't cut your balls off.
But to do it yourself,
Yeah.
you know, I know guys who are too afraid to shave with a razor.
I mean, dude, people were freaking lining up, freaking castrate other people, man. It was
Disgusting.
I mean, there was nothing
That is
cooler.
wild. Nothing cool or nothing. Come on.
Like
I
you
can
weren't
think
cool.
about 10 things right now.
You weren't
that's
cool
cooler than
in
cutting your balls
Syria
off.
if you didn't cut your balls off.
That is so wild.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we should do another poll. Would you cut your balls off for $1 million?
This is today's time. That's not in style now.
No,
okay?
I'm asking you for it, but we did it for money. So we were talking about the money. Would you
That's
do it
on
for
another
$1 million?
episode. That's on another
To be
episode.
continued. BBC. That is insane.
But you
Oh
know
my
the
God.
story of Kronos, don't you?
Okay, so not the story probably that you're about to tell me, because Cronus,
You know
hold on.
who Kronos' father was?
Wasn't it that guy with the
Uranus.
no, yeah, we just read about
it.
him.
It was Uranus.
I know,
was,
but it was just funny because it's like, you know who his dad was? Like, oh, okay. No,
but
we
he
just
was.
read about Cronus. Yeah, we just did him. I'm looking at my thing now.
Now, you gotta understand something. Kronos was the son of Uranus, but Uranus had a sexual appetite, and he'd run around having sex with all these different women, and it annoyed his wife. So,
I could imagine.
so, so what happened was Kronos castrated him. Like it goes all the way back even into the freaking Greek and the Phoenicians, man. Castration has always been there. And then
There's
the
a
blood.
guy that looks like Cronus on mine, and I do remember this because we talked about Gaia, but I don't remember it. Uranus, like
No,
Uranus being the dad. I thought it was
the blood from his balls dripped
Oh
into
my
the sea
gosh.
and created sea foam. Okay, and the sea foam eventually, I believe, created Aphrodite. Not it could have been another goddess, but it was Aphrodite. You see, that's kind of weird that it brings that up too, because like here you have the love goddess, and then you have the fish who are symbolic to fertility and life of the water.
Yeah.
That's
I was just looking about what else we were learning because I remember, that 8th year is where we were. That AER. What is AER's connection to Cronus?
not
Because
Aeon goes farther. It goes into the Scythians and the Sumerians. And Herodotus was actually doing research on the Scythians. Okay, so, and time periods too, to find out. We really do need to kind of go back and look at time periods, because I couldn't tell you specifically which came first on a lot of these stories we've been talking about. So,
see, this is what threw me because we were talking Erebius and Nyx, and then and Cronus. So like we were talking about. Remember, like it was you say air, it was air, but when I looked it up, it came and pulled up Aether, and then it's talking about
AER.
Yeah.
I remember that. R.
yeah, that's
air.
why I was because I knew Cronus was familiar, but it just says that Aether was the offspring of Cronus, and Cronus is the god of time. That's right, and then. Yeah, okay, because I had it in my notes. I'm like, I know this name,
see,
but I don't.
You know who Cronus is, don't you?
Yeah, well, the god of time, and then but
Well,
it
you
says
know who his son is, right?
Aether.
Well, it even goes Zeus. Zeus,
Ah.
yeah, he's the son of Kronos. And Kronos was trying to eat all of his children. He was hungry.
What in the heck is this? You understand? And see, stuff like that makes me really weary because, like, I know parents that sacrifice their children and their children's children. Like, I know parents that'll sacrifice their grandkids, and I can only imagine like where it comes from. Like, there is a reason this mentality, even today, is so dominant or prominent.
Hmm. Now,
I didn't know that though. I didn't, and I feel like maybe I do from Hercules. It makes me want to go back. You know that cartoon movie Hercules? That was such a good movie. It makes me want to watch it because I feel like they talked about Cronus being Zeus's dad in there, but it was real brief. It was like in a song or something.
hmm, it's interesting.
Uh huh.
Now, according to a 3rd century Syriac, where we just left off right there, from that day to present one. Okay, according to a 3rd century Syriac source, in Syria and in Edessa, the man used to castrate themselves in honor of Teratha. But when King Abgar became a believer, he commanded that anyone who emasculates himself would have a hand cut off. So if you decided to cut your balls off, freaking, they were also gonna cut your hand off. So you're gonna be walking around without freaking balls and a hand missing. All right. And from that day to the present, no one in Urhai emasculates himself anymore.
I mean, like, it's really crazy that the extremity for to get people to stop has to be, hey, you're gonna lose your hand. Cut off your
I
balls.
mean,
Did they not know that's how you make kids? Like, once you cut off your balls, you make kids.
you don't need your hands after you cut your balls off. I mean, there's just no need for them. Yeah, I mean, what else you need your hands for? Shit, like
Put it to eat, or use the bathroom, or
you got
writing.
another hand. I mean, you got the dirty hand, you got the clean hand. That's the way they lived. You used your dirty hand to do dirty things, and you used your clean hand to do clean things. Just keep your
That's
dirt.
what already instilled in me. I only use my left hand for, like, I really literally use my left hand for everything. The only reason I stopped is because I found out that the left side is the side that you would use. But because I'm right-handed, like, I kind of, you would think that it's opposite. Like, oh, you'll protect your right hand. I mean, you'll use your right hand. But no, I use my right hand to, like, write and stuff. And I can write with my left hand, but I'm not ambidextrous. Both the kids are, but not terrible. And then it's crazy because it's like, I have a cookie and day, like, my left hand does all the dirty work. Like, that's so wild.
Mhm.
That's insane. Do you have a clean hand and a dirty hand?
No, I'm,
Both of them.
I'm multilingual.
Multilingual. Isn't it limbo? Because
No,
they're your
lingual.
limbs.
Lingual.
Lingual is language. I
I
was
know.
saying lingual because they're your limbs.
Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
She is sometimes described as a mermaid / goddess due to identification of her with a fish-bodied goddess at Ascalon. Now, the origin and name Attigatus is seen as a continuation of Bronze Age goddesses. At Ugarit, cuneiform tablets attest multiple Canaanite goddesses. Among them, 3 are considered as relevant to theories about the origin of Attigatus, and that is Atarat, described as Lady of the Sea and Mother of the Gods, then Anat, a war goddess, and then Atart, a goddess of the hunt, also sharing Anat's warlike role, regarded as analogous to Ishtar and Asherah in Ugaritic lists, and as such possibly connected to love. So Atard is connected to Ishtar,
Right, the god of fertility. That's
Right.
wild.
and Ishtar is also Inanna.
Hmm.
So you have Atard, and it does say on page 2 of what or page 1 or page 2 of what we're reading that there is influence, Sumerian influence when it comes to a lot of stuff that comes out of that area. So John Day asserts that all three shared many traits with each other, and many have been worshipped in conjunction or separately during 1,500 years of cultural history. While the worship of Ashtart and Anat as a pair is well attested, Steve A. Wiggins found no evidence Ashtart was ever conflated with Atharot. He also pointed out that the concept of Atharot, Anat, and Ashtart as a trinity of sorts popularized by authors like Titva, Framer, Kensky, is modern and ignores the role of other deities in Agarit. For example, Shapash. Now, Shapash, okay, is a version of what later became Shamash. And actually, that Shapash has got something to do with something important too, as well as the importance of the connection between Atharot and I, or L.
Are we gonna go back to Sharash?
Shapash? Is that the one?
Shapash. I said Sharash.
No, Shapash
Shapash.
was a Shapshu or Shepsh, and also Shamshu was a Canaanite sun goddess, and Shamash is actually a sun goddess with the Sumerians, and he is also the son of the son of Enlil, I believe. Now, the weird part about Shamash is he also blends into Mithra actually. But Shamash is maybe a Babylonian god. I'm not sure if he started out as a Sumerian god, but he could have been Babylonian. So he was actually the twin of Ishtar, to be honest.
Who was?
Shamash.
Shamashu.
Yeah.
Shamash and Shamashu. Okay, but it says it's a girl.
No. Let me see that.
Shapshu, Shapshi, and also Shamashu
No,
was the Canaanite sun
about,
goddess.
we're talking about Shapash.
Oh,
Shapash.
Oh, not this little bubble that you have pulled up here.
Little bubble. Oh.
Yeah,
I went.
That's what I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, it's down here at the bottom, just under origin of name. You'll see.
I see Shapash.
It's pretty interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hold up. It is.
It does
freaking
say
female.
goddess, yeah.
Her most common epithets in the ergatic corpus are NRT in the Pantheon list KTU1. Yeah. All that good jargon.
Yeah, but
Shamshu and Shapsh and Shapshu.
Shamashu.
It was a Canaanite
Shamshu.
sun goddess. Yeah.
And then when I read a little bit further, it talks about the correlation to the Phoenicians. But I mean, we haven't gotten over there. The image of yeah, we haven't yet to get there. But yeah,
This is all related to that Assyrian queen, by the way. Just, I mean,
really,
yeah, yeah.
huh?
I mean, that's some cool stuff.
Mother of the goddess, mother of the gods.
He also pointed out that the concept of Etherot, Anat, and Ashtart as a trinity of sort, popularized by authors like Tikvia, Framer, and Kensky, as is modern and ignores the role of other deities in Ugarit, for example, Shapash, as well as the importance of the connection between Atherat and El. Now I'm thinking it. Now El, I believe, is the god that Christians and Jews worship. So if that's an El, it could be an I.
And see, it says Shamashu was the royal messenger of El. Okay.
Shapash. I'll bring it back here. It says Shapshu, Ugaritic, or Shapsh, and also Shamshu was a Canaanite sun goddess. She also served as the royal messenger of the high god El. Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's him. I know the statue right there in the picture. Her probable father. Her most common epithet in the Ugaritic corpus are in our same stuff. Also translated as torch or luminary of the gods by various authors. Great Lady Shapshu, Eternal Shapshu, in the Pantheon list, KTU, and all that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do you know that there's like pictures of like Set and there's like three, and they say that that's the Holy Trinity, quote unquote, in Egyptian history anyway. Like, does he not look like one of those statues? Or maybe I'm.
Well, with this statue, I'd have to say you would have to like compare the
details.
The time period, really. See which one goes back the farthest to see which one was older and which one is similar to which one, you know what I mean? Which one came first.
Right. Which one is mimicking the other, right? I got you.
You know, because they had a habit of doing that back then. Now, down here in the cult area, if you notice under cult, it finally mentions Shamash. It says, unlike Shamash or Utu, which Utu is Shamash. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see. Shamash was... Yeah. So Shamash was the ancient Mesopotamian sun god, earlier known as Utu. He was believed to see everything that happened in the world every day and was therefore responsible for justice and protection of travelers. As a divine judge, he could be associated with the underworld.
Oh, that's interesting. So that's what you were talking about when it was saying goddess. That's who you were referring to. So their names are similar, but yeah, I see now the difference.
Unlike Shamash or Utu in Mesopotamia, but like Shams, also called Shamsum or Dat Baldurum, is a sun goddess of Arabian mythology. She was the patron goddess of Himyarite of the Himyarite kingdom. Her name meant shining sun or brilliant. She was the South Arabian equivalent equivalent of the North Arabian sun goddess Nuha. So she was an Arabian goddess. So Shapshu was a female solar deity. In addition to attestations in Ugaritic text, Amarna, letter EA 323, uses the Sumerogram for the sun deity, Utu, as a feminine noun. Now, Utu is also a part of the Sumerians. There's two Utus. There's Utu Shamash, and then there's a female who is Utu. But that Utu is a spider.
What's the significance of the spider?
Probably nothing. It just it's like they bring the name Utu up with UTU, and I know there was two Utus in the Sumerian pantheon. There was Utu Shamash, and then there was Utu, who was a female spider, and she protected the gateway to the underworld.
Where did you go for this? Because I'm looking on mine and under called because I'm looking at something else. I'm looking at the link that you sent me about Ataragis. Saying it.
I clicked on Shapshu.
I see here. Okay, and that's how you got to the code. Because I don't. I clicked. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong one. That was
Here,
the guy.
Let me post this link. That way you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Get you hooked up. There we go. Shapshu. Yeah, this is some pretty cool stuff. It just keeps going deeper and deeper.
Yeah, and the connection, the correlation, like I was saying, like what we were talking about, Atargatis or Atargatis. Yeah, like looking at that and just showing how everything correlates. Even if we go all the way to, we can get to Egypt, we can get to Sumerian, and then we're back in it's Phoenician. And it's just wild because, like, I don't know. I never knew that everything. Hold on, Shapshu. But see, I still don't. Oh, okay. It's because it's on my phone. Let me put it on the iPad. Because it's like I still don't see where it's talking about cult, but it's just because.
Okay, so you go down past name, and it's just past that.
Yeah, I got it now. It's just I had to do some things. It asks me if I would like to hide the appeal for a week. I hide the appeal for a week, and every time I open a link, it's still it's like showing me, hey, we would like your money. I'm not paying you, Wikipedia. You're not even
we're not free.
Yeah, like information is no longer free. Like it's knowledge. You have to pay for your knowledge, which is foolish because Educom means to bring out of. But anyway, oh, I see it here. Unlike Shamash, okay, I got it. Okay, it's just making sure I can follow along.
Now, Utu as a feminine noun, Seti Ra'am Utu, given the letter's prominence with Yaja of Ascalon. It may refer to Shapshu. Similar, the letter EA 155 from Ambilaki of Tyre to the Pharaoh includes a feminine Utu, Lugal, Utu, Duratam, line 644. Old Akkadian names such as Talad Shamsi, Samas gave me birth. And Uma Samas, Samas is my mother, Samas, might indicate a female sun goddess tradition in 3rd millennium BC Mesopotamia derived from the northwest Semitic solar goddesses. Okay, and that's where I was talking to you about where I don't understand, like, everybody using the term Semitic as like a prejudice thing, because there were tons of Semitic people in that region that weren't Jewish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but even in that, there's a movie. It wasn't The Ring of Power. It was something else that I watched, and it was talking about how the Jewish control. Where's my notes at now? Because the Jew no, because they were talking about the Jewish control that, and that even that word, and they created that concept just from people who just for people. New World Order. I think I got it under that. Who do not do what they like. They, oh, come on. Here it is. Here it is. Jews have been known to kidnap, blah, 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 the Holocaust. Nothing. I was just reading that. I wasn't going
Thanks,
there.
man.
I was just,
Trying to keep this history here, you know.
I was just reading out loud. This has not disclaimer. This has nothing to do with the show. The views and words that come from my mouth are no reflection of Roger Hanson or the history show.
All right, so
no.
I'll read it. I'll read the short little direct description they have for the Northwest Semitic. Northwest Semitic is a division of the Semitic languages comprising the indigenous languages of the Levant. It emerged from Proto-Semitic in the early Bronze Age. It is first attested in proper names identified as Amorite in the Middle Bronze Age. So, like when you hear Amorite, that was a Semitic group too. So.
And where was their location? In
Northwest Semitic. Yeah. So that it would include the Levant and areas like that. You go there would be Semitics too that would be up around the Turkish area as well, and Armenia, areas like that.
I'm still looking for where because after this I want to see, because I gotta organize these notes. I'll just like start typing somewhere and it'll be in the wrong section, and then I'll have like a whole bunch of tabs. Like literally when you look at my Firefox, it has the infinity sign because that's how many tabs I have open. It doesn't have a number anymore. It's just literally the sign of infinite. Like, yeah. I was just looking because I heard this before, and people like to just completely associate it with one culture, but there's more to it. It's more than just what,
It really is. And then Samas. Okay, like, there's a difference between Shamash and Samas. You know, I mean,
isn't Shamash the woman, and then the other one, or
there's a story actually about her, and it's different. It's not even related to Shamash, to be honest with you. I mean, at all. Now Shamash was an ancient Mesopotamian sun god, earlier known as Utu, and that's Sumerian Utu, UTU, which means sun. He was believed to see everything that happened in the world every day, and was therefore responsible for justice and protection of travelers. As a divine judge, he could be associated with the underworld. Additionally, he could serve as the god of divination, typically alongside the weather god Adad. While he was universally regarded as one of the primary gods, he was particularly venerated in Sippar and Larsa. The moon god Nana, Sin, and his wife Ningal were regarded as his parents, while his twin sister was Inanna, Ishtar. Occasionally, other goddesses such as Manzat and Pinnaker could be regarded as his sisters too. The dawn goddess Aya Sherida was his wife. And multiple texts describes their daily reunions taking place on a mountain where the sun was believed to set. Among their children were Ketum, the personification of truth, dream deities such as Mamu, as well as the god Isham. Utu's name could be used to write the names of many foreign solar deities. Graphically, the connection between him and the Hurrian solar god Shemij is particularly well attested, and the latter could be associated with Aya as well. While no myths focusing on Utu are known, he often appears as an ally in other figures of both Sumerian and Akkadian compositions. According to narratives by Dumuzi's death, he helped protect him when the Gala demons tried to drag him to the underworld. Now, Dumuzi is the husband of Anna, or Inanna, I should say, and she's Ishtar. So, you know the story I told you about Inanna being going down into the underworld and then being
and having to meet her sister.
And then,
the person that.
And then Enki raising her from the dead.
This is our first. Oh my gosh, it's like our first date. No, but seriously, that was when we first. Yeah, I do remember.
Now, the music. You remember how I told you that Inanna had her follower go to all the temples, and it was Enki who finally helped her.
Yeah.
Well, see, she also, according to some of the stories, had her follower go to Dumuzi, and Dumuzi was sitting on his throne just being lazy, and he said, you know, fuck it, I ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? So, when Inanna came back from freaking the underworld, she went up on Dumuzi and seen him sitting there just being all lazy on his throne, and freaking had him turned into traded him his life for her life, because you can't come out of the underworld without freaking
reincarnation,
without another life taking your place.
Yeah.
So if you're resurrected and brought out of the underworld, you have to have somebody take your place. So she had to choose who it was that was going to freaking take her place, and she chose Dumuzi. So Dumuzi freaks out, starts running off, and before the demons could get him, he says a prayer to freaking Ishtar's brother, which is Shamash, because he followed him. And Shamash, being the great guy he is, freaking turned him into a snake and allowed him to crawl off and way to safety.
The great guy that he is, you gotta be like. But once he turned into a snake, was he able to turn back into a human, or was he a snake for the rest of eternity?
Dumuzi is a snake.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So what about the snake goddess, the serpent goddess then?
Now, Dumuzi's death, he helped protect him when the Gala demons tried to drag him off to the underworld. And the Gala demons in Sumerian and ancient Mesopotamian religion were great demons or devils of the ancient Mesopotamian underworld.
Look how their heads look like the third eye. Did you see how their face looks like the third eye?
Yep. Eyeballs.
That's crazy.
Now, the reason why
Gilgamesh.
Yeah,
I bet that.
Epic of Gilgamesh is an epic poem from the ancient Mesopotamia from ancient Mesopotamia. The literary history of Gilgamesh begins with 5 Sumerian poems about Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, dating from the 3rd dynasty of Ur. These independent stories were later used as source material for a combined epic in Akkadian. It's pretty cool. That's actually the first ever written epic. Ever. What do you think of that?
I think that's really crazy because I didn't know it was the first one when I was reading it.
Mm-hmm. That's
just remember and probably just telling us that no one was listening. So I can only imagine.
so. And I brought that up because we were talking about Shop Shoe.
Mhm.
And we went into let me see, Attagaddis. All of this was because of that, and Attagaddis is supposed to be related to Shemaramat. So we went on our pretty good tangent of history there, and 4 regions of the world. Now,
We still haven't really.
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, she was the mermaid goddess, but mermaid serpent, is it interchangeable? No, right? So we still have to touch
Well,
because
now the mermaid thing, okay, that would be more of the Phoenician side. I doubt if like you got to take it into text, you know what I mean? Put it into context and the people and the regions that they were in, you know what I mean? Like right here. Can you see that map?
yeah,
Okay.
kingdom, Phagarian kingdom, the Egyptian kingdom. Yeah, I can see it.
Now
Assyrian
down
Empire.
here you have Iraq and you have Ur. This is the Sumerians in Susa right here. Nippur, Kish, and Kutha.
Can you put your mouse on it? I don't see it.
I've got
Okay,
it.
there it is. I see it. I see it now.
Now, all of
Gotta
this,
set my brightness up.
all of this up here, Asher. No, I ain't even gonna. Asher actually is pretty cool to mention because it was kind of like a port during the time where the Akkadians landed on. But this area right here was more of the Akkadian area, and they all eventually joined together. So they had this region here. All of this was conquered by the Sumerians at one time. All of this.
And see how it changes? Like, so on the key, it had 2 different, like, so this was Assyrian Empire during this time, and this was Assyrian Empire during this time. Can you go back to where we can see the key? Because I'd like to see the difference. Here it is. Okay, so the light one, 871, came after, and that was bigger. 824.
No, 824.
So technically, 824 is newer.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
it goes backwards. Yeah, right. So 824.
So it was bigger,
would
and
be-
then okay,
yeah. And
and then it
this
shrank. I see now. That's
this
what I was-
is the Assyrian kingdom right here. And see right here is just a little area compared to all this. So all of this got intertwined into all of this. You see what I mean? And this would be this would be the Levant right here. Down here would be Judah. This is where the Canaanites. This is where the Canaanites were at.
And
the
that's
Phoeni-
Lebanon over here, right? What turns into
uh,
like
Le-
right here on this, is that because this is not the top? Is that not the top of Egypt right here that we're looking at towards the left? And then
Oh.
is that not? No.
No,
Oh.
that's Libya. That's Libyan. This That
I'm
right
just
there.
saying because where are we at on the overall map? Because yeah, Tyre, Biblius, yeah, that is the Phoenicians. That's where they were at,
All right.
Lebanon.
See
But
Byblos,
mm-hmm.
Sidon,
Philo Biblius, yeah. Philo of
mm-hmm.
Biblius, yeah.
Tyree.
Cyprus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right there. This,
But that's
this.
where the Phoenicians dominated, though, right? Isn't
Mm-hmm.
that little, yeah? And
You
it
see
turns into
Cyprus, right here,
Lebanon
that
over
island,
there.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it says Papa, yeah,
Yep.
Paphos and Salamis.
Paphos and
Mm-hmm.
Salamis, all that. Cyprus, it was all Phoenician at one time, and then Canaanites is all in here, and they were ruled by the Assyrians.
Ah, that makes so much sense seeing it from this side now.
You know, and that's why.
Thracians.
That's why.
What are? I heard you say about the Sistinians, but what about the Thracians? The Thracians? What about them?
Uh,
They're up top to the left. No, the not the Scythians. You told me about them a little bit, but if you go over to the
Ephesus,
left,
right here.
no, you got to zoom out a little bit. Right there at the top, above Greek city
Oh,
states, and then you see
the
Yeah, what's
the
that?
the Thracians. Let me see. Okay, that would actually be the region where Alexander the Great came from. So
Oh, that's
the
messed up.
Thracians, Phoenicians, they're talking about right there too, like right here. You got the
Oh, at the
Paeonian,
top next to it.
the Paeonians actually is what it is. The Phrygian, I know about them. Now the Phrygian were the ones that they believed. Well, the Phrygian and the Thracians maybe were the ones they believed that were a part of the mysterious sea creatures or the sea
Ah,
people.
and we just learned about the sea people and in their boats, and then
Mhm.
wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so neat, man.
And see, what happened was these sea people, they came down and they swooped down on Egypt, which is
Mm-hmm.
right here. They just, bam, hit them real hard. And this is what Robot was talking about, where he believed that the Philistines were actually the mysterious sea people because afterwards the Philistines settled in this area right in here, right around Judah, on the shores, and Ascalon and stuff.
But the
LTK.
Phoenicians never called themselves Phoenicians. Can you? I want to see Greek. Hold on. Let's just talk Greek city states. Okay, so the Greeks are up there. The Phoenicians are down here, but they're enemies.
Well, Lydian. Okay, Lydian is a Phoenician area right here, and then the Phrygian kingdom. All that was Phoenician at one time. Um, the Aegean Sea was controlled in this area by the freaking Phoenicians. The city of Troy is right up in this area somewhere, up around the northern part of this peninsula.
And that's
Cause
where
it,
the Iliad takes place.
hmm and the Black Sea is opened up here. Like everybody thinks the Black Sea is closed off, but it's not. There's that little bitty
Little
opening.
yep, right here in the middle between
Uh-huh.
Chalcedon and Byzantium. Oh, that my goodness! I wonder what it's like to travel through there. Like what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Well,
Experience.
that's how the Greeks do illegal trade
Ah.
with other countries that they're not supposed to. They still do it to this day.
Wow.
That's why I say you never believe a thing those Greeks people say. They're just they make shit up. And see, that's the reason why the Phoenicians were so smart. Okay, was because they understood that if they blocked this area off, since it was their territory,
Yeah.
that the Greeks would have to pay tribute to go through this area and get to this part of the world and trade. So,
What was it that they liked that this other side has? Like, what were the resources and the things that were being traded that was not available for the Greeks? Or if you're aware, I mean, you know.
Well, the Greeks actually had good resources, but the thing of it was is the Phoenicians were the freaking sailors. I mean, the Greeks actually had to build their own navy to freaking fight against them because they were unequipped. They also had to do it against Xerxes whenever they fought against the Persians over here. And that was later
Wait,
on in
over
history.
here, over here.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I
Like,
I have the map zoomed in, so when you move your mouse to the side, I didn't see it.
yeah. And everybody believes that like the Greeks were sailors and stuff, but they really weren't. I mean, a lot of their conquest took place on land.
Hmm.
They were completely freaking unprepared against Xerxes when he marched on them. The only reason why they survived was because of. Have you ever heard of the story of the 300? It was a movie that came out.
I heard 300, but the 300 that I heard wasn't that the ones where they were inside of the horse, the Trojan horse thingy. That's not that.
No,
That's
this one
different.
was
Oh.
where they were in a little crevice valley that the Persians had to come through in order to make it into Greece up here by Marathon. And Macedonia is this area right here. And they were going to come in like this. And
Wait, hold on, slow down, because I don't see your mouse at all. Macedonia, go it again.
Macedon.
Where?
It's
The mouse
over.
isn't even moving.
You know where my mouse is right here.
No, I'm zoomed all
I'm
the way
over.
out. Hold
I'm over by Greece again, the Greek city
I see
state.
Greeks. Yeah, okay. Remove your mouse. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Now go up like where I'm looking right here.
Oh,
Follow
I see Macedon. Yeah, and Thassus, and yeah, I see here now.
See, they were going to come around here like this, and then they had ships that were going to meet up with them over here too. Okay.
Yeah.
And this was where they were going to attack them. And then the only way they could get into the rest of this area to take Athens was to go through this little valley, kind of like that would box them in. So these Greeks, 300 of them, went in there and they fought them off within that valley, which created a freaking bottleneck on their troops, so they could kill them off. And because they did that, they ended up foiling the invasion. So the Persians had to go back home because they didn't know what they were doing. They couldn't.
They couldn't withstand.
Yeah, they couldn't hold up against those Greeks. But Marathon is also
A gas station.
well, the city of Marathon, okay, is also where or what inspired the Olympics, because in order for the Greeks to know that they were being invaded by Xerxes, one sole Greek runner ran all the way to Athens. And when he got there to warn the Greek, he was able to warn him where he quickly died. He died.
Wow.
He died because of all the running he did.
Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, I'm kidding you. It was
No,
just,
you're not.
it was the Greeks. They, like I said, they lie. Okay, there ain't no
But hold
way.
on, wait a minute. So did he even get to warn them?
Yeah, he warned them.
Oh, he did, and then he died. At least they got the warning.
Yeah, like
What if it was a consequence of him telling? Like, what if he like snitches get stitches type thing? Like,
No.
oh, you gonna tell?
they immortalized them. That's why they have the Olympics now. Like, you ever know that the dude that runs in the middle of the Olympics and puts the fire on the torch?
Okay, yeah, that's him.
That's
Or a
him.
symbol. Yeah.
He was immortalized.
History is so neat. I wish I would have paid attention when I was a kid. I'd probably know so much more. But like they don't tell you all of this. But if they because they do not tell you this, it's worth learning. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
if I would have been able to sit here and actually indulge, I could imagine how much more I would know about culture and society, especially where we get our practices from and why we behave and accept things that we do and denounce things that we do. I like because even now it's just everything seems to be completely related, and we're taught that it's not. You know, we're taught the separation, not the correlation. I had no clue that this guy comes from, and I didn't even know that the Olympics were Greek, but I guess that makes sense now. And then you see Olympia over here, so it's like I don't follow the Olympics. A lot of people do, but shout out to the people that win type of thing. It's not sports aren't my thing. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I do basketball only because though of like what has happened with sports, like the barbaricness of what they do and the exploitation. I used to play tennis and basketball is my favorite sport out of all the sports if I have to pick. But just because of knowing like the practices and the culture behind it, it has deterred me from indulging as much, you know?
Hmm. Well, we actually have an hour and 10 minutes of recording and an hour and a half of streaming, so I think we need to stop here and then go into the fourth page because I didn't think we were going to actually get this much good stuff. This is actually good information.
I like how we travel while we're working.
Uh-huh. It's really good. Like, we're pulling up maps and stuff. Now, if you want to get more into this, Karma,
I'm listening,
besides
yeah.
us doing this, there's another good guy. I mentioned that one site before, but there's another good guy on the internet you need to check out. And he goes by his channel goes by History with Psy.
Is that the one you sent? That's not the guy with the Phoenician history and stuff where you sent me. Well, you posted the link and I just indulged with
Yeah,
it for the.
but
Yeah,
he's another
awesome.
guy. He's forgotten kingdoms or something or fallen.
Yeah.
Fall.
That's what I'm thinking of.
History with Sai is like short 15-minute videos that he goes through like certain parts of history and things like that. So he's pretty cool if you want to check him out. So
Okay,
he's got a lot of good stuff.
awesome. I'll look into him as well. The history with Sai.
Yeah, I can post a link in the chat. That way you can
Okay.
check him out.
Yeah, and then other people can know too as well. And then, okay, awesome. That sounds good.
So I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Okay.
All right, and then tomorrow we're on for conspiracy. Huh?
Yeah, tomorrow's conspiracy, and
Awesome.
we will talk about some good stuff tomorrow.
If you have any subject matter or anything, I know we don't have to, but if there's anything specific that we're going to do or whatever, if you'd like to let me know, Ken, I'm going to attempt some organization. I stayed up all night to make sure that I did not oversleep for old John's interview. So I slept a nice bit of my day. I'm about to finish up our homeschool lessons. I have two more lessons to do with my boys, and then I'll be up for the night, so I'll be able to get some stuff done as long as I stay focused, which is the goal. So I'll be
Okay.
able to get some organization stuff done. And if you send anything, I'll be able to see it. Also, I saw that thing that you posted about. I think I was on the phone. I was like distracted, but the thing about Minecraft. So thank you. Their
Uh,
iPad is usually on the weekends. I let them play while I do your show. Like they had to finish their definitions during the show today, and then they got to play on iPad. So whenever you post it, I'll make sure that
it'll
I
be
share that.
it'll be on the 6th, and
Okay.
I went through and made it kid friendly too. So
Nice. Thank you
so
so much. Like they love doing new stuff in Minecraft. Like there'll be some days to where because I have them on YouTube for kids, but I'll be able to link it to where I can allow the video, so it's no
all right.
biggie. And yeah, they'll sit there for hours and just watch guys play, to
Hmm.
just so that they can learn. You know what I mean? So they'll
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. You're the greatest.
Well, let me get this taken care of, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. All right.
Yep. Have a good night. Be safe. Thank you for everything.
You too.